Welcome to your first legislative branch video. This unit is going to encompass Congress, which is, of course, the legislative branch. It's made up of the Senate and the House. These are your unit learning targets. They're going to be posted in the front of the classroom and also on your daily agenda slide, so I'm not going to go over these with you. So on your first slide of notes, here's what we're going to be looking at. Talking about the background of Congress, okay? We're going to get into the nitty-gritty here in a couple of days, but before we do so, we need to iron out some background details. So Congress, we know, is a bicameral legislature, which means that it's made up of two chambers, okay? The Senate is sometimes called the upper house of Congress, and the House of Representatives then would be the lower house of Congress, okay? So bicameral, two chambers. Our Congress is made up of senators and representatives, and senators serve different term lengths than representatives, and they also have different requirements for office than representatives do. So for number one in that table in your notes, we need to be looking at the numbers. So how many members are in the House of Representatives? 435. How many members are in the Senate? 100. Okay. For the requirements for office, the House of Representatives has 3 constitutional requirements. A person has to be at least 25 years old. They have to have been a citizen for at least 7 years. And they have to live in the district that they're going to represent. Okay. So they have to have residency in that district. Okay. On to the Senate side, we have a 30-year age requirement. So you got to be at least 30. You have to have been a citizen for at least 9 years, and you have to live in the state that you're going to represent or have a residence in that state. So you can prove residency in that state. Okay? Going to terms. If you are a member of the House of Representatives, you serve 2-year terms. And if you are a member of the Senate, you serve 6-year terms. Okay? So it's important to remember that while they do have terms, like a length of terms that they serve, they don't have a term limit. So if you can get elected 35 times and you want to be a member of the House of Representatives for your entire life, then you can. There is no term limit in Congress. Okay? The salary, this is what everybody always wants to know. Members of Congress, like just typical members of Congress, make $174,000 a year. Like if you get elected in November and you take office in January, you make $174,000. Now, if you're in a leadership position, like if you're a majority leader or a senator or the Speaker of the House or something like that, then you make like $190,000 a year. Okay, and we'll look at that in class. We also have voting and non-voting members of Congress. So our voting members of Congress are going to represent states. So like Missouri, our members, our legislators in Congress are voting members, so they can actually vote. Non-voting members are going to represent our territories in Washington, D.C. So we have like a resident commissioner from Puerto Rico. We have representatives from the U.S. Virgin Islands, that kind of stuff. So if you are a non-voting member, it's just as its name implies. You can't vote. You can take part in discussions, but you don't have any voting power. Okay? And I will stop there. If you guys have any questions, let me know.